Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Frederick County Division of Fire and Rescue Services Promotional Ceremony and Public Safety Awards. I'm Lieutenant Joseph Chlebowski, your Master of Ceremonies for this evening. Would everyone please stand for the presentation of the colors by the Frederick County Fire and Rescue Honor Guard and remain standing for the National Anthem, which will be sung by members of the Frederick Children's Chorus. Please remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
It is my pleasure to introduce the Reverend Dr. Eric T. Myers of the Frederick Presbyterian Church, who will lead the invocation.
Let us pray. God, our Creator, God, our Supreme, God, our Guide, God, our promised and constant presence, we gather here this night and ask your presence with us even now. Yet, as we gather here, we know that there are places and people near us now and around the world which are hurting because of natural disasters, rain and wind and fire and storm. We gather here this night knowing that there are places and people near us now and around the world suffering because of violence and war and abuse and misuse of what you have entrusted to our care. And we pray for your presence not only with us here, but we pray for your presence there as well. As we gather here, we give you thanks for governments and systems and departments which care for all your people. And we give you thanks for ways that we might live out our callings to serve you by serving others. This evening, as we celebrate accomplishments and promotions, we are mindful of those who served and gave their all, even to the point of injury and even death, especially those whom we remember before you now. This we pray, especially we remember Josh. In their honor we gather, and as we gather, we rejoice that you have brought us here. Bless our time together. Let us hear of what has been done. Let us applaud and cheer and support and congratulate each other for all that has been done. And may we be inspired to continue on in the work, the calling you have put before us, and help us to remember that your greatest calling is to serve you by serving others. Amen.
Please be seated. Please allow me to introduce our guest. With us on stage, County Council President MC Keegan-Ayer, Division of Fire and Rescue Services Chief Tom Coe, Division of Fire and Rescue Services Deputy Chief Steve Leatherman, Division of Fire and Rescue Services Deputy Chief Kenny Poole, Division of Volunteer Fire and Rescue Services Deputy Chief M. Shane Darwick, and the Reverend Dr. Eric T. Myers, the pastor of the Frederick Presbyterian Church. I would now like to introduce MC Keegan-Ayer for a few remarks.
Good evening. I am here on behalf of the county executive, Jan Gardner. Unfortunately, she had a medical emergency today. She is resting at home, feeling better, but she is unable to be with us this evening. So we all wish her the best. So I am here to give her remarks on her behalf. First of all, I want to tell you that I asked to have a little bit of information about the people receiving the awards tonight. And when I read about what they had done, I am a person who is normally called stoic on a good day. There's other words that they've used to describe me, but I am not given to emotions. When I read the stories of the people who will be getting awards tonight, I was moved to tears. You are truly, every one of you, every day, you are my heroes. But these people, given the season that we're in right now, in addition to the awards tonight, we should be giving them capes because they're superheroes. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and read these remarks. Good evening. This evening we are here to celebrate the hard work, dedication, and achievement of the members of the Division of Fire and Rescue Services over the past 2 years with promotions, and to honor outstanding performance with public safety awards. Your promotion is truly an achievement. It is an accomplishment to be proud of. To be recognized, you had to take the initiative and to meet very specific requirements. Each rank requires somewhat different achievement. Most involve taking extensive hours of training, obtaining certifications, maintaining performance levels, and fulfilling years of service requirements. Once those requirements are met, you still have to demonstrate your knowledge, skills, and abilities through a structured promotional process. It can be nerve-wracking. To have achieved this in the middle of a health pandemic required exceptional commitment and devotion. It says something about the dedication of Frederick County's firefighters and medics that so many of you have chosen to accept this challenge. But it is really no surprise. You face extreme challenges every single day, whether it's responding to a medical emergency or extricating someone from a vehicle on the side of an interstate. Overcoming challenges is what you do. Is what you do. I know the past few months were exceptionally difficult for everyone in the fire and rescue family. The line of duty death of Battalion Chief Joshua Laird shook our community to its core. Josh was a mentor to many over his 21 years of working for Frederick County, and he is and will be sorely missed. But now it is your turn to mentor those who are following in your footsteps. You have already demonstrated the skills needed to advance. You have shown good judgment and made good decisions. You have demonstrated that you have the skills and the energy and the perseverance to succeed. Congratulations to each and every one of you. For those who are receiving medals this evening, thank you for your exceptional bravery. Your actions made the difference between life and death. On behalf of the residents of Frederick County, on behalf of the county executive, on behalf of the entire county council, please accept my heartfelt appreciation for everything you do. I want to take a moment to extend congratulations to the family members of all the men and women we are recognizing and honoring this evening. I do recognize that it takes everyone's support, including spouses, children, and even parents, to successfully make your way through the promotional process and to work in public safety. Promotional opportunities within Frederick County's Division of Fire and Rescue Services are important to the overall division. By rising from within the ranks, you bring with you experiences and knowledge that are invaluable. Our rookies and new recruits will be turning to each of you as leaders in our division for guidance and support. So I encourage you to use your new role to be a mentor to others so that they too can reach their full potential and be the future leaders in Frederick County Fire Service. Again, I want to thank you all for your service to the citizens of Frederick County, and thank you for choosing to work in Frederick County, and congratulations to your well-deserved promotions and awards. Thank you.
Thank you, Council President MC Keegan-Ayers. As we begin, I will call each rank to line up in numerical order on the aisle to my left, with the person pinning them to line up in the aisle to my right. Each person promoted will be called to the stage and receive a certificate of their promotion. Uniformed staff will have their badge pinned to their uniform by someone they have chosen. I ask that you please hold all of your applause until everyone within a rank has been recognized, and at that point, we will congratulate them all. At this time, I would like to call for those who have been promoted to the rank of Deputy Chief to line up, and those pinning them to line up on the aisle on my right. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Deputy Chief M. Shane Darwick, and pinning him is his wife, Janet Darwick. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Deputy Chief Kenny Poole, and pinning him is his wife, Tina Poole. Let's give your deputy chiefs a congratulatory round of applause. Now I ask for the battalion chiefs to please line up on the aisle to my left, and those pinning them to the aisle on my right. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Battalion Chief Christopher Mullendore, who's being pinned by his son, Carter Mullendore. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Battalion Chief Medic John Newman, who's being pinned by his son, Caleb Sweely. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Battalion Chief Charles Scott, who's being pinned by his wife, Deborah Scott. Ladies and gentlemen, let's please give your battalion chiefs a congratulatory round of applause. Now I ask for the captains to please line up on the aisle to my left and those pinning them on the aisle on my right. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Captain Sean Donovan, who's being pinned by his wife Holly, daughter Ava and Delilah, and son Declan. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Captain Jason Komykoski, who's being pinned by his daughters Elena, Olivia, and Amelia Komykoski. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Captain Robert McCaa, being pinned by his daughter Sadie Mae McCaa. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Captain Michael Osele, being pinned by his wife Megan Osele. Ladies and gentlemen, let us give your captains a congratulatory round of applause. Now I ask for the lieutenants to please line up on the aisle to my left and those pinning them to the aisle on my right. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Lieutenant Jason Huntington, pinned by his daughter, Kira Huntington. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Robert James III, being pinned by his wife, Kathleen Nichols. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Lieutenant Matthew R. Johnson, being pinned by his father, Rich Johnson. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Lieutenant Patrick King, being pinned by his daughter, Aubrey King. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Lieutenant Michael Knight, pinned by his stepdaughter, Madison Miller. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Lieutenant Adam Miller, being pinned by his wife, Milena, and his daughter, Maya. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Lieutenant Matthew Nye, being pinned by his son, firefighter Kyle Nye. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Lieutenant Jesse Springirth, being pinned by his wife, Stephanie Springirth. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Lieutenant Stephen S. Ward, pinned by his fiancée, Kylie Gray. Let's give your lieutenants a congratulatory round of applause. I now ask that the technicians please line up to the aisle on my left and those pinning them to the aisle on my right. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Technician Christopher Belk, pinned by his wife Shelley and daughter Maven. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Technician Shane Holmes, pinned by his wife Candy Holmes. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Technician Tyrone Jenkins, pinned by his wife, Tara Jenkins. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Technician Daniel Kelly, pinned by Fire Chief Tom Coe. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Technician Scott Lindberg, pinned by his wife, Lori Lindberg. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Technician Aaron Matthews, pinned by his friend and mentor, Captain Sean Donovan. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Technician Michael Preso, pinned by his wife, Renee. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Technician Michael Schweitzer, pinned by Anna Marie, Danielle, and Christopher Schweitzer. Let's all give a round of applause to our recently promoted technicians. At this time, we will move towards the presentation of the 2021 Public Safety Awards. Tonight, we are honored to recognize both career and volunteer personnel for the hard work, bravery, and dedication they have demonstrated during 2020. The Gold Medal of Valor, Battalion Chief Christopher Mullendore and Firefighter 1 Sean Duvall. On Thursday, March 12th, 2020, at 23:38 hours, Box 3310 was dispatched for a house fire with entrapment at 8818 River Oaks Terrace. While en route, ECC reported that the caller stated his daughter was trapped in an upstairs bedroom, and soon after, a sheriff's deputy confirmed that report. At 23:43, Engine 331, Ambulance 339, and Battalion Chief 901 arrived to find a two-story, single-family dwelling with nothing showing, and the sheriff's deputy vehicle in the driveway of the residence. With confirmed entrapment, Captain Christopher Mullendore, now Battalion Chief, and probationary firefighter Sean Duvall, now firefighter, who were riding on Engine 331, entered the residence with hand tools and a water can to effect rescue. They were met inside by the victim's father, the caller, and Deputy First Class Christian Lucente. Deputy Lucente, without the protection of firefighting gear, advised that he was able to get the victim out of her bed and into the doorway of the bedroom which was on fire, before being overcome by the conditions present. Captain Mullendore and probationary firefighter Duvall, without delay or hesitation, then ascended the stairs prior to donning their SCBA face pieces and located the victim in the doorway to the bedroom. This was done knowing the conditions were worsening and that the patient's location presented further harm to her and would not allow firefighting efforts to begin. With the door to the bedroom open, smoke was filling the vestibule and hallway areas of the second floor and was now pushing down the stairs towards the first floor. Captain Mullendore and probationary firefighter Duvall were able to grab the victim, who was burned on approximately 40% of her body, and carry her down the stairs to the awaiting stretcher and EMS crew. For their efforts, Battalion Chief Christopher Mullendore and Firefighter 1 Sean Duvall are being awarded the Gold Medal of Valor. The Silver Medal of Bravery, Swiftwater Rescue Technician Susan Johnson and Deputy Chief L. Edward Johnson. On Saturday, May 2nd, 2020, at 7:30 p.m., stations 28, 14, 20, Loudoun County 10, 19, Trooper 3, and the ATR team were alerted for a water rescue near Point of Rocks. As we all know, many times we get alerted for water rescues that usually turn out to be nothing but an investigation or a simple get someone off the island and life is back to normal. This one seemed to be a bit more to it with the information that was coming over the radio. Information indicated that there were confirmed people in danger, unable to get out of the strong current to safe land because of flooding waters from the recent heavy rains. Additionally, the 54-degree water temperature made that call a much more heightened worry because of hyperthermia and the inability for those submerged to have dexterity and use their abilities quickly. About the time that Swiftwater technician Sue Johnson and Deputy Chief Airboat Operator Ed Johnson arrived at the boat landing, a report from fire medic Steve Shetter and firefighter EMT Corey Hargett on the Point of Rocks Bridge confirmed with binoculars that there were people in the water on the Maryland side of Heaters Island, and they just lost sight of them from the bridge. Station 28 personnel had the foresight to prep Airboat 28 and had backed it up to the water, ready for launch. Given the urgency of the rescue due to flooding conditions, water hazards, cold water, and looming darkness, Deputy Chief Johnson ordered Swiftwater Technician Johnson to dress in only the minimum required PPE, a PFD and helmet, and forego donning a dry suit so a rapid launch of Airboat 28 could be made. Deputy Chief Boat Operator Ed Johnson and Swiftwater Rescue Technician Sue Johnson made a high-speed run down the Potomac River for over a mile. With the river being at flood stage, there was no riverbank or customary navigational markers. Swiftwater Rescue Technician Sue Johnson spotted victims helplessly spread out in the river just past Heaters Island. Deputy Chief Ed Johnson circled the Airboat 28 downstream of the victims so that they could come back upstream to make rescues. There were 3 victims in total who were spread out in the river current, 2 adults and 1 child. The child was on an overturned kayak wearing a PFD. The adults were in the water and not wearing PFDs. The larger of the 2 adults was in obvious distress and in the highest priority. Swiftwater Rescue Technician Sue Johnson grabbed a hold of the victim in obvious distress, who had lost his ability to grip anything and was so exhausted he indicated he couldn't raise his arms or help climb on to a ladder. The victim, who weighed approximately 250 pounds, was essentially dead weight. Deputy Chief Ed Johnson left the driver's seat of Airboat 28 and joined Swiftwater Rescue Technician Sue Johnson to assist with rescue efforts of this first victim. The victim told Swiftwater Rescue Technician Sue Johnson he, quote, couldn't do it when she asked him to help climb up the ladder. Swiftwater Rescue Technician Sue Johnson at that point paused her efforts, looking directly at the victim to get his full attention, and loudly told him he was, quote, coming into this boat now. She told him, it's not going to be pretty when you land in the bottom of the boat, but you have to help us, and you're coming into this boat now. Swiftwater Rescue Technician Sue Johnson and Deputy Chief Ed Johnson grabbed the victim underneath his armpits and swim trunks and literally pulled the victim out of the water and dragged him over the side onto Airboat 28. Swiftwater Rescue Technician Johnson gave the victim a quick assessment while Deputy Chief Ed Johnson returned to get control of Airboat 28 and moved into position to retrieve the next victims. Swiftwater Rescue Technician Sue Johnson directed the rescue of the remaining 2 victims, and the next victim was the child, who was calm but quite scared. Swiftwater Rescue Technician Sue Johnson grabbed the child and pulled him into the boat. Finally, the last victim, another adult, required both Deputy Chief Ed Johnson and Swiftwater Rescue Technician Sue Johnson to pull him out of the water and onto Airboat 28. All victims were fitted with PFDs, safely positioned in the airboat, and returned safely to the Point of Rocks boat launch, where Medic Ambulance 289 took over their patient care and transported them to a local hospital. For their efforts, Swiftwater Rescue Technician Susan Johnson and Deputy Chief L. Edward Johnson are being awarded the Silver Medal of Bravery. The Bronze Medal of Outstanding Performance, Lieutenant William Billy Ahalt. On November 11, 2020, Company 8 units responded to an incident for a motorcycle accident in the 12,000 block of Stottlemyre Road. While on scene, crews were treating a priority trauma patient. Lieutenant Ahalt was serving as the incident commander. While he was serving as incident commander, the EMS providers were struck by a motorcycle that entered the scene. Lieutenant Ahalt, who was in the cab of Rescue Engine 8-3 running command and landing a helicopter for the original patient, witnessed the impact of his injured crew members. While maintaining a calm and collected demeanor, immediately notified Frederick County Emergency Communications of the incident and requested additional resources and notifications. Lieutenant Ahalt transferred command and immediately began to check on his crew members. Ahalt helped treat the injured technician and remained with him until he was transported. In the days that followed the event, Lieutenant Ahalt maintained contact with crew members who were on scene to ensure that they were doing okay and organized work details to assist the injured technician with his home projects. Lieutenant Ahalt demonstrated the strong leadership qualities on both the incident scene and the days following. In addition, Lieutenant Ahalt has been highly involved in the COVID vaccination project and has been working countless hours to make sure this project is a success. Lieutenant Ahalt has proven himself to be a strong leader and dedicated officer to both his crew and the division. For his efforts, Lieutenant William Billy Ahalt is being awarded the Bronze Medal of Outstanding Performance. Life-Saving Award, Firefighter Brady McCartan, Firefighter Davis Kasparitz. On March 15, 2020, Medic 2 and Ambulance 29 were dispatched to a trouble breathing call. Firefighter-paramedic Michael Osele and firefighters McCartan and Kasparitz were on the ambulance. They entered the residence to find a male patient having one of the worst COPD exacerbations firefighter Osele has ever witnessed as a paramedic. Firefighters McCartan and Kasparitz entered immediately behind and began assisting and preparing CPAP in an attempt to save this patient. It very rapidly became clear that this patient was seconds from going into cardiac arrest. Firefighters McCartan and Kasparitz quickly cleared space in the very cluttered room and prepared for the impending arrest. When the patient, in fact, did go into cardiac arrest, they quickly lowered him onto the ground and promptly began quality CPR and ventilations. Within one round of CPR, the patient regained a pulse. This patient lived and went home to his family. This is directly from firefighter-paramedic Osele. As a medic, I've been on similar calls with patients in a similarly acute distress that have ended much differently. Perhaps the single biggest factor in the positive outcome of this call were the two firefighters on the BLS unit and their outstanding performance. Firefighters McCartan and Kasparitz worked quickly, efficiently, and as an organized team, following any directions for what I needed from them as the medic. Without their professionalism and high-level performance on this call, I do not believe this patient would have lived. While ALS treatments were certainly required, I feel it was their excellent BLS skills that saved this patient's life, and I give these two firefighters all the credit. For their efforts, firefighter Brady McCartan and firefighter Davis Kasparitz are being presented the Life-Saving Award. Distinguished Achievement Award, Firefighter 3, Dustin Eller. Firefighter Eller is the senior firefighter at Station 25 on C shift. He's assigned to mentor probationary firefighters Chris Fratura. As the senior firefighter on the shift with two probationary firefighters, Dusty has had to spend most shifts on the ambulance with them. Firefighter Eller never complains about riding the ambulance or his assignment rotation. Firefighter Eller uses the time with probationary firefighters to teach them the response area and how to operate the ambulance. Firefighter Eller uses downtime to work with probationary firefighters on their probationary manual objectives. Dusty always displays a positive attitude and takes pride in the performance of both probationary firefighters assigned on the ship with him. Firefighter Dusty Eller exhibits great leadership and exemplifies teamwork. Firefighter Eller goes out of his way every shift to ensure probationary firefighters not only know how to complete a skill, but why that skill is important. Firefighter Eller truly cares about his coworkers and helps them be successful in any way that he can. It is with great pleasure we present the Distinguished Achievement Award to Firefighter Dustin Eller. Supervisor of the Year, Captain Sean Donovan. All statements will reflect back to when Captain Donovan was my supervisor in the lieutenant's position and before his promotion. So for that purpose, he will be referred to as Lieutenant Donovan. This is from one of his shift members that wrote his recommendation. It begins, I had the privilege to work under Lieutenant Donovan for roughly a year and a half. Over this time, we created a great friendship and a great working relationship. This made coming to work such a good experience and helped our shift become a great working team. Lieutenant Donovan's expectations were high, but we knew that with his guidance, it would be an obtainable goal. He ensured we had all the tools we needed to be successful in any way possible, whether it was learning a new technique or signing up for new classes online. He was always there. If he didn't have an answer for you, he would make sure to take the time and find the appropriate answer and help you come up with a plan of attack. He would always have a good shift trainings to ensure his crew could work well together and knew what to expect from each other. Lieutenant Donovan personally helped me get cut loose as an Engine 31 driver, which was a big goal of mine. He looked through previous files and helped me come up with a game plan to get cut loose in a timely manner, but ensured that I was ready to be an operator. The tasks were complete and I became an Engine 31 driver. Though many others helped me along the way, Lieutenant Donovan pushed me over the top to be the best that I possibly could be. Lieutenant Donovan is always professional and courteous on incidents. He's relied on his training and never have been in a situation that seems to get him flustered. He's always had a calm demeanor and would delegate tasks without hesitation when needed. On incident 15460, there was a vehicle accident with entrapment and ejection of multiple patients. I was driving the engine and Lieutenant Donovan was reading the comments on the MDT on the way there. Judging by the comments in his training, he upgraded the assignment to obtain more units on the way. Once on scene, Lieutenant Donovan was, quote, in the zone. To many, the situation would have been overwhelming and seems impossible to mitigate, but Lieutenant Donovan handled the situation in the best possible manner and gave each individual the best possible outcome. He ensured crews were completing tasks and that all patients were getting the very best care possible. Lieutenant Donovan displayed this calm demeanor on every call and ensured everyone on the scene that the situation would be handled without fail. Lieutenant Donovan holds himself to a higher standard than most, and this can be seen in his nicely ironed uniform and polished boots. He arrives to work 2 hours early most shifts to ensure he was ahead of the game and able to handle any issues for the oncoming shift. Lieutenant Donovan would often be found helping with household cleaning around the fire station and completing tasks that most fire department officers aren't expected to do, but he would do so without hesitation. Lieutenant Donovan has recently been promoted to captain and has shown his peers and shiftmates how hard work and dedication pay off. He promoted not only to make himself better, but the employees that work for him and the division better as a whole. Now, Captain Donovan has since been transferred out, but still keeps in touch with his old shift. His dedication to the employees that work for him are like none other. It is with great pleasure we present the Supervisor of the Year to Captain Sean Donovan. Medic of the Year, Firefighter Paramedic Christopher Belk. Throughout his career and station assignments, he consistently embodies the mission of the Division of Fire and Rescue to protect life, property, and the environment with professional, efficient, and quality service through hard work, humility, and teamwork. He consistently has above average performance evaluation and is a model employee for any supervisor. Chris moved to Frederick County from Southern California and is married to his wife, Shelley, and together they have a 5-year-old daughter, Maven. He's been employed with DFRS since May 19, 2014, and upon his appointment to recruit class 17. Not only did Chris move across the country for this job, he then had to successfully pass the Fire Rescue Training Academy and subsequent probationary manual. Because he was hired as a paramedic, he was then required to complete an additional manual in order to function independently as a paramedic in Frederick County. Chris was successful in all of that, often completing required assignments and objectives earlier than scheduled deadlines. He's been assigned to 2 of the busiest stations/medic units in Frederick County, Station 1 with Medic 1 and Station 31 on Medic 31. Previous supervisor Captain Mike Webb acknowledges that, quote, Chris continually sets the example on how to be a selfless servant, not only for his patients, but for his coworkers. Chris is a self-starter that can often be found assisting colleagues with various tasks around the stations or trainings. Recently, as Chris is preparing for the technician's promotional process, he stopped studying to come assist with repacking hose from an engine company drill. Additionally, Chris spent a majority of the time from October 26, 2019 through January 30th, 2021 as the only functioning medic assigned to Medic 31 on B shift. His counterparts during that time were off on extended leave, meaning Chris rose to the challenge as being the sole ALS provider on the shift for that period of time. On days when Chris was not or isn't assigned to the medic unit for the shift, he would volunteer to take that position to reduce overtime costs or to ensure that the ALS students had a consistent preceptor for the benefit of their progress in the ALS program. Chris is held in high regard within Fire Station 31 as a physical fitness resource. He's always willing to assist other members of his shift or company with the questions and often helps them establish personal health goals to improve their health and wellness. Chris always remains humble and strives to help those who seek his guidance and experience. Chris has a team-first mindset, and ability to work well within that team is what makes him a great employee. Fire and rescue is a team sport. Everyone on every shift plays a role to ensure the mission of providing professional, efficient, and quality service. No matter what role Chris plays on any given day, he's prepared and understands that our ability to function as a team is the only thing that will ensure that we are successful on our mission. He is one of the most even-keeled, positive employees in the division and does whatever is needed, whenever it is needed, for everyone else around him in order to succeed. His teamwork, humility, and hard work is why Christopher Belk is being presented the Medic of the Year for 2020. Career Firefighter of the Year, Firefighter Zachary McNeil. Firefighter Zachary McNeil has served with the Division of Fire and Rescue Service for only 4 years, but already demonstrates great senior firefighter traits. The senior firefighter is a pivotal and necessary role in any department, but specifically in a department such as Frederick County that is rapidly growing. During time as a supervisor, he would show up on numerous occasions to true professionalism and dedication required towards any of the aspects of his job. To begin, Firefighter McNeil arrives for his scheduled regular shift at 4:00 a.m. This is 2 hours early and receives no compensation for this early relief. During this time, he performs a thorough inspection of the apparatus he is assigned to, and he inspects his personal protective equipment and completes several administrative tasks. He was appointed in 2020 as a mentor to the newly assigned probationary firefighter at Fire Station 31. Firefighter McNeil took on this role with pride and went above and beyond all expectations. He would assist the newly assigned probationary firefighter with the organization of their probationary manual and completing the required tasks inside that manual. To make sure that the probationary firefighter was successful in the first crucial months of being in the firehouse, Firefighter McNeil could be found late into the 24-hour shift working with probationary firefighter. This includes deploying many lengths of hose line and demonstrating how to repack said hose lines. It also involves him reviewing the probationary manual entries for grammar and punctuation area. There's a saying in the department that practice makes permanent, and Firefighter McNeil would practice and teach this mindset to his coworkers. On top of the huge responsibility of being a mentor, Firefighter McNeil took on additional firehouse projects that were completed during his shift. Examples include inventorying and organizing the fire station maintenance room, building storage racks for additional PPE, assisting with updating the apparatus assignment board that hangs in the firehouse. It should be noticed that with all this additional responsibility, it did not stop him from achieving his own goals that he established in his career. Firefighter McNeil had obtained all required classes and training to become a proficient engine company driver in Frederick County. When the assigned technician at Fire Station 31 on A shift was off work for an extended period of time, Firefighter McNeil would fulfill this role. It's not seen often in this department, someone who can function as an engine company driver at this point in their young career. Firefighter Zachary McNeil is a dedicated team player and leader, both on and off duty. He puts the citizens and coworkers before himself. For his actions, Firefighter Zachary McNeil is being presented the Career Firefighter of the Year. Probationary Firefighter of the Year, Firefighter Austin Kessler. Austin graduated from Recruit Class 25 on September 27, 2019, with no prior fire department background, experience, or family ties to the fire service. Austin became a firefighter with Frederick County after learning about this career while attending Urbana High School. With a passion for helping people and serving the community, once of age to apply, he decided to apply for the career of a lifetime. After getting the job, Austin Kessler was assigned to a position with a fire rescue candidate within the Frederick County Division of Fire and Rescue Services and was with a recruit with Recruit Class 25. During this time in recruit school, he was found to be a well-mannered leader by the instructional staff and was named one of the 4 squad leaders for the entire class. Austin performed the full 28-week class cycle with the rest of his class and found himself graduating amongst the members who were able to make it through this program. Kessler, unlike many others from his class, did not start his first day in the following days after graduation. On September 28th, Austin headed out of town the day after graduation to work alongside his comrades in the United States Marine Corps Reserve. In this unit, Austin is a lead commander with the Bravo Company, 4th Light Armored Reconnaissance Battalion. He supervises other Marines and works to prepare for emergencies on both state and national levels. It wasn't until October 4th of 2019 when Austin started his first day of work. This date put him 2 weeks behind the rest of his classmates. At that point, he still hasn't even stepped foot in the firehouse. On October 4th, he walked into Station 3 for the first time to start his first shift of what would become the beginning of his lifelong career. Station 3, located in downtown Frederick, is one of the busiest firehouses in Frederick County and was prepared to start the journey of not only running many calls, consisting of busy days and sleepless nights, but enduring tasks having to complete the 12-month rookie manual at the same time. The Frederick County Fire Rescue Rookie Manual is broken down into 6 parts that test the new firefighter in all aspects of the job. Each session is given a couple months' worth of time to practice skills, learn Frederick County policies and procedures, and each has its own deadline of when it needs to be completed. Depending upon where the rookie is assigned, some rookie firefighters can work on this manual in the station, but those at busier stations, such as Station 3, must complete this manual on their days off. At the completion of each section, the rookie is tested out of that session with the rookie's officers, mentor, and battalion chief. Austin not only worked hard to have each session turned in prior to the deadlines, but tested out of each session early, therefore having completed the entire rookie book 5 months earlier than the deadline required. This isn't often completed that early by many new firefighters, and certainly not completed with no flaws. While the process of working on this rookie manual, he was still fulfilling his requirements with the Marine Corps, having to make weekday and some weekend drills, and being on military leave away from the firehouse. Austin didn't stop there. Prior to coming off probation and transitioning into a full-time firefighter, he became the role of becoming a junior mentor to the new probationary fire assigned to the shift. He spent countless hours showing him the things that he had learned, along with working with him on and off duty to complete his rookie book manual. Austin made a personal investment into helping this new rookie firefighter learn. Because of the passion for helping people, Station 3 B Shift has since received 2 additional rookies in just that short period of time who have been instilled with the same work ethic as firefighter Austin Kessler. This is a perfect example of what Frederick County Service is all about and what not only a probationary firefighter, but those who will continue to serve in outstanding service to the county. It is with great pleasure we present the Probationary Firefighter of the Year to Firefighter Austin Kessler. Please join me in congratulating all of the 2021 Public Safety Award winners. I'd like to call on Chief Tom Coe, Director of the Division of Fire and Rescue Services, to address you on this proud occasion.
Award recipients, promoted officers, honored guests, family and friends. To say it's been a challenge to hold tonight's ceremony would be an understatement. We fought pandemic and flooding rain to make sure that we could recognize the outstanding performance of the folks who we have recognized here this evening. With that aside, I'm so glad that so many friends and family members could join us to celebrate that outstanding performance within the Division of Fire and Rescue Services. Let me begin this evening by extending my thanks to County Council President MC Keegan-Ayer for joining us and sharing her words of praise and encouragement to those who have been recognized tonight. Our county executive and county council are very strong supporters of our fire and rescue service, and for that, we're incredibly appreciative. I'd also like to share my appreciation with Dr. Myers, the members of the Frederick County Children's Chorus, and the Frederick County Fire and Rescue Honor Guard for joining us and adding their special touch to tonight's ceremony this evening. Please join me in thanking a few individuals who have been instrumental in making this evening's ceremony possible. Thanks goes to Leslie Lenhart, who over the last several months has spearheaded the planning and execution of tonight's event. Leslie, thank you very much. I'd also like to thank the members of the Frederick County Chamber of Commerce who served on our Public Safety Awards selection panel. And finally, I'd like to recognize firefighter-paramedic Carrie Malta, who has provided her photography services to document tonight's ceremony. Again, my congratulations to both our award recipients as well as those who have been promoted within our organization over the last 20 months. Advancement in the Fire and Rescue Service is very competitive. It requires personal dedication and commitment to develop the required technical knowledge and skills and to prepare yourself for advancement in our career. The group of promotees that we are recognizing this evening have participated in written testing and moved on to practical assessment centers where they displayed the application of their knowledge and skills in challenging real-life scenarios in front of subject matter experts from fire department peers from across our region. This group rose to the top of their respective promotional lists by displaying that they have what it takes to move to the next level of responsibility within our organization. Promotees, your service as an officer will challenge you every day. Simply stated, an officer must command, and that requires your willingness to lead the men and women of our department. It requires you set the example for your subordinates. It requires that you be accountable for both the operational readiness and the operational performance of your team. One of the most difficult challenges you face is being the boss. A fire rescue supervisor operates in an environment like none other. You spend a third of your life with your team. You become a very close member of your team, and they become part of your family, but you're still their boss. You're charged with leading your team, building your team, guiding your team, and mentoring your team. But remember that within your team, you are the leader. You have proven through rigorous promotional process that you have what it takes, and I am both proud and excited for your accomplishments and look forward to watching each of your future successes. To those receiving awards for their performance in 2020, I stand in awe of your individual and team performances. Your performance sets the standard that other members of our organization strive to achieve on a daily basis. The acts of heroism and life-saving that you have heard about this evening are incredible highlights of the services that the career and volunteer members of the Frederick County Fire Service are proud to provide on a daily basis. To the families of those being recognized this evening, let me add my gratitude. Our personnel would not be able to achieve their career goals without the strong support and backing from their loved ones. I appreciate all that you have done to support your loved ones within our organization. The Frederick County Division of Fire and Rescue Service is an outstanding organization, and that's tied directly to the amazing personnel that serve the citizens of Frederick County every day. I continue to be proud to serve beside you on a daily basis. Thank you.
Once again, I would like to invite the Reverend Dr. Eric T. Myers to lead the benediction. Would you please rise?
Might I say to those who serve and to those who support them, I am thankful for who you are and what you do. Know that you continue to be in my thoughts and prayers. Now go out into the world in peace. Have courage. Hold on to what is good. Return no one evil for evil. Support the weak. Help the suffering. Honor all people. Love and serve the one who has created you and who calls you. And now go with God's blessing this night and always. Amen.
This concludes this evening's program. Thank you all for coming, and safe travels home.